The Orsman Faces podcast is now sponsored by Tyre Spot, the Northeast's leading tyre supplier with branches across the region. Tyre Spot don't just do tyres, they cover everything from servicing to wheel alignment. They can handle every aspect of your car's maintenance. For more information, visit tirespot.co.uk. Enjoy the episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Orsman Faces podcast on the GallowgateShots YouTube channel. As you can see, there is just the three of us. Myself, your host, Chris, joined by Mark and Bessie, who was staring right into the camera there.
Yeah, I thought I'd try something.
Yeah. It was quite intimidating, to be fair.
Intimidating?
Yeah, it was quite intimidating. Yeah, it's quite scary.
Your opening didn't fill us with that you're really enthusiastic to be here and discuss this.
In what way?
It's been a canny week, hasn't it? I think.
I know.
Almost like, oh, yeah, we'll do it, right?
Well, do you want the honest truth?
I think
I'm a bit tired of yesterday. I was out on the drink all day yesterday, and I'm feeling. I'm not hungover, but you know when you can, your body just knows.
That was me yesterday. I took off the Alfie the Shields game on Saturday, and then I went out afterwards to watch Newcastle match, and I was like, I wasn't drunk, but I was tired yesterday. My body knew.
Do your mic? It's off already.
As my
God, to be fair, we'll put the worst person in that seat ever.
Yeah, that was a bad move. That
Dodgy mic.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
But when we get older, as well in your 40s, a few drinks is like, it's bad news. Like,
yeah. So
are you 40s yet, Chris? You're not, are you?
I'm 38, 39 this year.
Is that what you are?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not that far off, really.
I'm 44 next week.
Yeah.
And the years you've slept.
But yeah, let's talk about the weekend, because despite it not being a positive result, as in 3 points or even a point, I was unbelievably impressed from what I saw yesterday against Saturday.
Yesterday.
It was a long day. On Saturday against Manchester City. I think there was a lot of positives to take from it. I think that's what we've been asking for a long time, to go to the Etihad and put in a performance. It's 17 defeats on the bounce, I think it is.
Something like that.
Last time was in the League Cup,
which is a horrendous stat, and a stat that we don't really want to be associated to. But at least there was a bit more positivity coming from that game, Mark.
Yeah, you're right. There was a lot of positive to take from it. A lot of good moments. A lot of effort, and some good football at times, I thought, as well. We were just unfortunately lacking in a little bit of luck and a little bit of quality in front of goal.
Great, Bestie.
Right, I'm going to preface this by saying that I watched it. I was in a dolly peel on Saturday night, and I couldn't get the game on, so we watched it on someone's phone on the table.
Wow.
So, because I had one phone there with the game
That'd be no good with your eyes.
And one there with the curling. No, my eyes are fine. I'm the only one. But I had the curling on the phone there and the game on the phone there, so I was flipping between the two. So I did watch it. I didn't really...
As if you were sitting in the back row of level 7.
Basically, like but yeah, from what I kind of could make out, it was all right. Both goals, I think, were avoidable. Your man already had far too much time for both. I thought to get a shot away, again, gaps at the back and stuff like that. I thought maybe Pope could have done better.
Gets a good hand away as well.
He gets a hand away, but his arms also at full stretch, and it's hard when your arms at full stretch to kind of... Because when it's there, you can use your belly check, but when it's there, you kind of do it. Like, so it's a tough one. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. But yeah, I thought the football they played, they got through them. It's kind of similar to the cup match a few weeks ago, where they got through them a few times. Gordon got put through once or twice. There was one where he could have hit one first time and he's left, but I don't think he quite had the confidence to do so. Donnarumma made a canny save later on from Barnes, I think. It might not have been going in, but still. I mean, it was nice. It was a sign, and I took it as a positive, that at the end of the game, Nick Pope went up for a corner, and it's unusual for us. It's unusual for us to be. It's for us to be in that position where it's worth doing that in the last kick of the game at Eastlands, whatever it's called now, Etihad, is a good sign. So I was worried that after what we had prior to that, the 3 away wins in a row, scoring 6 against Karabag, that it might be a little bit of a kind of chastening, sobering exercise. That's but it wasn't. It was all right.
Well, you compare it to just a matter of weeks ago when we played them down there in the cup.
Yeah.
It was night and day. Even though we're still trying to take the game to them in the cup, it was a very different reply that we got back from them. So I think it is just one of those ways. And I did think the same as you, Bestie, that maybe because it's a very long trip over to Karabag, what was 10 and a half, 11 hours, I think, in total.
Back and back.
It's hard, it's tough on your body, the tiredness. Obviously, they're going in, quite luxury on the aeroplane that they were on, but it still has an effect. So for them to come out and perform that the way they did with plenty of energy, effort, I think was really telling. And that was very, very proud of the.
Man City had a full week to prepare as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's something I've wondered, right? When you're playing it in Baku, so I don't know how many time zones that is over, because it's right the far southeast of Asia, Europe, beg pardon. Do you reckon players, because they're there for so short a time, do you reckon they still go off the UK clock, off GMT? So,
well, it was.
Do you know what I mean?
So
because it's not worth them trying to recalibrate. Is you can only go on holiday and you're going somewhere quite far away, and it can be a bit funny for a day or two.
It's going to be at least 3 hours.
4 hours. It's 4 hours ahead.
It's 4 hours ahead.
So
do you reckon they just go, right, well, it's going to stick to UK time, so we're going to go to bed at, it might be 2 o'clock in the morning instead of 10 o'clock at night, but we're going to, the night before the game, but just to keep our bodies as kind of as consistent as possible. Because if you're trying to if you're saying, right, we're going to go to bed at 10, if that's the time, get up at 6, altering.
You're on the same. Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be worth it for one game.
So they would have only been there, what, total of 2.5, 3 days max, you would have thought?
I guess they would have flown back pretty much.
Was the day before the game. They flew the day before.
And it was a quarter to 10 kickoff local time.
Yeah.
Quarter to
6 our time.
Yeah.
So you might as well just keep a British watch on and say away.
Straight back on a flight, straight back home.
No.
Keep on the flight, then day off the next day, and then away they go.
Recovery.
I think for the sake of being there for a couple of days, it's not really going to impact them whatsoever. Well,
I mean, Eddie did. Was his press conference today, or maybe it was the one at the weekend where he mentioned about. I know it was the weekend because he mentioned about lack of sleep and that kind of thing, and that managing that side of stuff. So, I mean, you didn't really see a big difference. As I say, the energy levels were there. The effort was certainly there. Just a couple of moments of quality was just what we were looking for, really.
What I want to chat about tonight is the situation with our strikers. And I'm throwing Anthony Gordon in there because it was not so long ago we sat there and said, well, it's not really working this with Anthony Gordon. It's working now.
I think a lot of that has got to do with the opposition that you're playing and the way that we're.
Are you throwing Manchester City in there? Because I thought he caused some issues against
Man City. I don't know. You say the opposition. If it was just the opposition, then everyone would go for Karabakh as centre forward. I don't think it's just. I think the opposition plays a part in that. But I think you've got to say that it's. We did Liverpool away at Anfield. That first half hour until they scored.
I don't mean in the opposition being poor. I mean in the way the opposition approach the game and we approach it, like leaving, because we went with a very fast front three in that game, and that caused them all sorts of problems.
Karabakh is this or Liverpool? Yeah.
Both, in fairness.
Yeah, I see you could put Villa and Tottenham in that as well, really.
Yeah,
with the away game.
I think what I'm seeing from Gordon and. Yes, we can look at all the competitions separately, but I'm just going to bundle them all together now. And I think what we're seeing from Gordon, and how many times have we sat here and defended Gordon when he's been getting shit online, saying he's a good player, you'll find it. And I think he's coming in that form right now.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't say he's playing as an out-and-out striker because he's not having to, like when we've been playing, Wissa and Voldemort are up there, he's not having to hold the ball up, be a link-up play and all that kind of thing. A lot of it is the transitions, hitting on the counter-attack, using his attributes, which in fairness is
high press,
is the press, the energy from him, and then the pace on the attack.
So if you had an option, so let's say going in tomorrow's game, let's say we don't have this 5-goal lead, right? Let's say this is the first time we're going to be doing it. Do you play Gordon up top?
Yep.
I do,
I think we'll see a very different Karabakh team tomorrow than the one we're seeing.
But forget what we saw, right? Just forget that. Let's say it's level, right? We're going into the second leg and it's level. From what I've seen recently, Gordon starts for me up
I
top.
think Gordon's first choice striker at the minute.
Yeah, I don't think he will because of obviously the scoreline that we're going into
I
the game.
think you'll
But
probably see
overall,
get
yeah,
more of a run tomorrow, I think.
And I cannot see them really coming out and going at it, despite needing to score
Well, I
4 or
was
5 goals.
thinking about this earlier on. I can see us getting a couple tomorrow just because I think we're good enough to get it.
Yeah.
So they would need to score 7, which I would be astonished. I might put a couple of quid in it just in case. But I think it'll be a big change. I think what it is, the second half they were really good.
Yeah, they were.
And that's not
They
being
were.
patronising.
They were.
Like they were playing the ball around the back, playing long balls from left back.
do you not think,
right
though,
mid.
Bestie, do you not think it was a very similar situation as to when we played the second leg against City in the
little
Carabao Cup,
bit.
where the second half they just let us have a lot of the ball and thought, well,
A little bit,
we're like
but
3-4-0 up at this point.
they still pressed through it quite well.
Mm.
They pressed through it really well. They retained the ball really well. They were like knocking it about and was just sticking. They're playing, like I say, long balls from left back to right mid a few times, I noticed. And the ball was just, it was right that we're going to cause you trouble here.
Yeah.
Now,
They were fast on the break. Like, they were fast.
They got the goal in the second half. Obviously, there was the kind of, was it offside or not? Nick Pope should do better with it for me again. And they had a couple of goals. I think if it hadn't been for that first 25 minutes, half an hour, I think we could be looking at a very different second leg. But thankfully, I mean, they were all over the place at first. Once we got the second one, really. Oh, the penalty killed them. It was never a penalty either, man. The handball.
It's a Champions League.
It's
penalty,
absurd.
isn't
It was shocking.
It's not. I'm so glad that happened. That wasn't the first goal. I'm glad that was kind of 3 in, 4 in, was it? Where it was like, oh well, that's.
Well, the commentators mentioned it was Coist and I can't remember.
Sam
who
Malafit.
was it Malaface?
Nah, because it was TNT, wasn't it?
It wasn't John Champion, was it?
It was I can't remember. It was McCoyson. I don't know who the main comms was. But they basically said it's a tough one that penalty should never given. Then Andy McCoyson went
Shocking.
But to be fair, if any team deserves
Yeah.
a handball to go for them, it's Newcastle after the last 2 times.
It runs against PSG, that guy, but it's very harsh. I don't like. I was watching it at home, and Amy started to feel sad for Karabag. I feel sorry.
I mean, I was like, that's never a penalty in a million years. You cannot give a penalty for that.
His face is the wrong. His face is the wrong way.
Ridiculous.
Sorry,
He's not even looking at the ball. He's holding himself up.
He can't do anything else. So it's just it's
Ridiculous.
But you knew, with it being the competition that it is, you knew for fine well that it was going to get awarded, no matter what.
Yeah, it's a shame that.
It is. Like, where's he supposed to put his arm at the end of the day?
Oh, there's nothing else you can do with it.
Yeah,
There's nothing else.
There's only one place it's going to go.
It's ridiculous. It is. But then, I mean, Gordon took both penalties really, really well. He took all his goals well. The first one, I thought it was a great ball throw. Dan Burn, Beckenbauer-esque.
No idea why he's found himself in that area at that point, but he was there. And it was a great ball. Yeah,
it's a good finish as well. It was a proper striker's finish that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one where he took it around the keeper, I thought he might have given a free kick because he trod on the keeper's arm, didn't he? But then, like, you can't give it for that. Like, but he played great. What do you think about we've got to get with him, I suppose, the argument, him and Trippier having a bit of a disagreement?
I'll let Mark go before I go in.
I know why Trippier's done it,
mm-hmm.
but he's the named penalty taker. You know he's going to take it.
Confident.
He's already on. I know he's already got his hat trick, but he's wanted to score more goals. You know what a type of player he is out of it. I don't. I think a big deal is being made out of a nothing situation. And I mean, the both of them kind of said that at the end when they got interviewed, is that it was heat of the moment stuff.
It was good to put them both in front of camera.
Yeah. It just quashes it straight away, doesn't it?
They made a point of putting photos of them embracing on the socials as well. Both of them did. Trippier put one in his reels and Gordon whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, Gordon even said, like, you know, he's one of me best friends in the squad, kind of thing.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So it's, I think it's Trippier's just had that. And look, and we praise him for it. It's that mentality that he has of being a very good leader and captain and wanting the best for everybody in that situation, and obviously trying to spread the goals around, give others a little bit of confidence, I think, out of it. But ultimately, as a penalty taker and a striker, because that's what he was, you want to score goals. So.
I agree, 100%. I think as it happened at half time, it didn't look good. It really didn't look good.
That was Trippier, that
was Trippier.
Trippier more than anything.
He was booting off everybody that even tried to calm him down. Trips, he just didn't want to listen
putting his arm around him.
Joe Linton at one point, I thought, Jesus, don't mess with Joe. So, and I thought I just let a bit of a taste in your mouth at that point, but you thought it is what it is. It'll get sorted at half time. And I get what people are saying that maybe Trips was stepping in to try and give Voldemort some confidence. But that could have worked against him as well. If he doesn't bury that penalty, then that confidence goes the other way.
I don't know if Otto needs a handout like that, to be honest with you. I think he's playing really well. He's playing deeper, so he's not getting as much in front of goal at the minute, but he's played really well on Wednesday. It's going to be a really boring podcast because I'm going to agree with both completely again. Like it's good to
bring back Decker.
we need that. He's like the touch paper, isn't he? But it's centre forward. I said in what chat, like Shearer wouldn't have given it up. I don't think Gordon and Shearer are the same player, obviously.
But Shearer's been in that situation and refused to give it up.
Chef Wednesday, you know. I've got no problem. I think Trippier's right to say, by the way, you know, do you want, as his club captain, should Baltimore take it? Should Willock take it? Should someone? And Gordon's gone now. Yeah. And then that should have been the end of it. But then it has ended. It ended at the end of the game, before the end of the game, probably in the dressing room at half time. But, you know, it's something to talk about and all that. But yeah, I think it's spot on. Like, it seems to be dealt with really well by everyone. How Tyndall, everyone involved seems to have kind of just let out one of those things.
But the media have just ran with it, haven't they? Because they've even found a photo where Nick looks as if he's sad, like during the celebrations. Yet a second either side of the photo frame that they've used, he's well amongst it and celebrating and laughing and loving it. But it just then from that we've then had, that's it. He's for sale in the summer. We're going to cash in on him.
Yeah,
we're going to cut our losses. And I'm like, this is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, that was it was some bloke writing for Build, wasn't it? He's a bit of a pro buy-in. I don't think it was entirely serious from what I've read since about it.
He was a fan, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
a fan. I think he's actually a journalist, but a fan primarily. And he's kind of being a bit mischievous now. But the BBC said, that must be true, that. But it doesn't appear to be anything in it whatsoever. Although I did see someone, Chris Woff, the Athletic, said it's like nonsense. The club was saying nothing. Yeah. But then was someone else, Andy Brassel, does the football ramble and stuff like that. He was talking about the other day, and I thought that's interesting because he's reputable, Andy Brassel or Brassel, whatever it is. He's someone worth listening to, like. So I wonder if he said something. I don't know, but I hope I want to keep him. I really hope with a good summer behind him with Eddie, we'll get the most out of him.
I don't think there's anything in it, you know. Like, like I think Eddie was asked, and of course Eddie's not going to come out and say anything other than he's a great lad. Like he looks happy to me and stuff like that. Yeah. Of course he's not going to say anything different, but I'd be very, very surprised. Like,
not a chance.
Yeah,
not a chance. Unless, and it's never going to happen unless Bayern came and offered either. I don't know whether it's matching what we paid for them or more, and we know they won't do that.
I think it would need to be at least what we paid for them.
Yeah,
100%. I don't think we'll sell them for a lot. I think we'll sell them wrong, but hypothetically, I don't think we'll sell them for anything less than we paid for them.
Yeah, no, I agree. Moving across to the game, which is tomorrow night, so the second leg of this, how are you both feeling about that? Because it's that game where I think people, yes, it was great seeing that first leg and absolute dominance. But going into the second leg, you're like, ugh.
I'd much prefer it was like April or May and a nice, balmy spring evening as opposed to
some beers in a terrace.
Freezing cold.
It's getting a bit milder.
There's been lots of tickets appear today. Yeah. I think a lot of those are in the weir section. Well, not in the weir section, but where there's probably going to be about 200 of them or something. Yeah. There's not going to be many of them, to be fair. But they're scattered around the ground as well, where people just can't be asked to go tomorrow night.
Which, I mean, you generally get that anyway in the midweek games of people that work away, live away and stuff like that, where they'll pop up. There's always a fair chance of picking up a random ticket for a midweek match. But even more so when you've paid 65 quid, you're already... well up in the tie. It would take a miracle to throw it away. But
why do you think that is? Because I'm probably in the same boat. Like, I came in here and I was like, I really can't be asked to go tomorrow night. And it sounds ridiculous to say.
You know what it is? I think it's a bit of lethargy with the amount of games that we've had recently. And I think we've actually the last couple of weeks has been great because we haven't had a home game. So you've actually
since Brentford,
you've been able to chill out a little bit like from it and like think, oh god, actually, but I can't wait to get back to the ground. But I'd much prefer it was Saturday afternoon or something like that as opposed to.
It's been a funny run because we had the 4 games in a row in January or 4 games in really quick succession of 5 maybe, and then we've had 4 away in a row. And now we've got 4, maybe 5 in a row at home, depending on what happens with the last 16 if we get through.
Yeah,
you expect that we do, but and then if we beat Villa, no Man City in a cup, Is this the quarterfinals coming up? Was it the round before last 16?
What for
The FA Cup?
the FA Cup?
Fifth round, isn't it?
Fifth round, the last 16. So the sixth round's the quarterfinals, seventh.
Yes.
round.
Yeah, must be. Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
I don't want to go to Wembley for a semi-final. I've got a real thing about that. Wembley's a fight for finals.
Yeah, I think everybody's in agreement with that.
But it's
It was always like either Old Trafford or Villa Park or something like
I went
that.
to Old Trafford '98 when I played Sheffield United.
Or even like the Millennium Stadium, or he went down to Cardiff for a few years when
That was a final, wasn't
when they were doing the
redevelopment.
Wembley.
Yeah, but it was like obviously Hillsborough famously, Villa Park, Old Trafford. It should do that again.
Well, they're never going to do that again because
they've got to pay for Wembley's making money
yeah.
and stuff, and it's ridiculous. Like, but yeah, it's just shite.
Yeah, no, I agree with you completely. But tomorrow night, I think the questions are: is Eddie going to try something new? Is he going to try to get a couple of the younger lads in there and completely mix it up, or what? I think Wissa's been back training this week as well, so it's a good chance. Don't think he'll start, but he'll probably have a bench appearance there.
He'll play some part, like, yeah.
Does he dare? I dare you, Eddie, start a Sula up top?
You might.
He could do, yeah.
Yeah,
he could do.
I'm daring you now, Eddie.
It's one of. I mean, he's even came out and said it himself today, hasn't it? There's a fine line between, like, how many times have we seen in like the FA Cup and stuff like that, where you make wholesale changes and the team struggles to get any sort of fluidity.
Well, that game at Hillsborough a couple of years ago when we were out.
So he said that like the team need to keep in that rhythm of playing together. Keep it. But he's got to be mindful of that. We've got a lot of games coming up, keeping the team fresh. So I don't know. You almost do feel like you would like to see him give a couple of the young lads that have been on the bench for a lot of games this season. Obviously, he brought on
Neve
on at in the first game, didn't he? So
did Alex Murphy come on as well? Alex Murphy come on.
Murphy not coming on?
Was that the weekend?
Saturday, maybe.
No, I think it was just Neve that came on. I think I might be
I think
completely
Murphy
wrong.
came on Saturday.
I feel as I've seen Murphy last week. I can't remember which game it was.
Yeah. So you'd like them because it's just nice for them, isn't it, to get in there and get a run? But you've got to keep the bones of the squad in there and just keep it.
Does Gordon start, or is this the one where you just?
No, I think probably. Like, again, it's one where you would alternate between the two you normally go. So on the right, does he go Murphy or Alanga? I think he'll probably go Murphy because Alanga's played a lot of games. I know he missed out at the with a decent performance at the weekend, and then Murphy came on. You would have think Barnes Gordon the other side, but then he played Willock / Ramsey like out on the left as well. So there's options there, and
there's definitely going to be a change with Chow being suspended.
Yeah, Chow, which I wish he'd had a word with the other two that were on bookings as well, like
Dan Burn and
Jolinton. I think Jolinton tried to get one, and the referee didn't fall for it. But Chow's was 100%
face
on
mask,
purpose. He just grabbed his face. So like that was well prepared before the game. That like,
aye, but that's the little bit of gamesmanship that you need to have an awareness of bookings and potential suspensions and stuff like that. And you would much prefer them to miss this game as opposed to something in the next round.
But then again, let's say if Chow and Burn had picked up yellow cards, you're left with no centre back at that point.
There's that.
Botman's back training, so
yeah, you would expect
potentially
Botman.
start.
I think Botman again, because I talked about how fit he is. You'd think you'll probably see him at some point as well. If he's got enough in the tank, you'd maybe even give him an hour like in there. But
I would like to
bring back Jamal Lascelles.
I would like to see Hall rested, but I think we're in that situation where
I don't know who you can rest him really.
Exactly, your low numbers.
Dan Burn left
back, Burn left back, but then once again you back your issue with your centre backs again.
Yeah,
that's where Murphy comes in, then, isn't it?
And you could potentially rest Trips and possibly put Jacob Murphy as right wing back,
which we've seen a number of times. I think that's the game to get away with it, though, isn't it? Because again, you
shouldn't lose by 5 goals tomorrow.
Oh my God, if we do, then we absolutely deserve to go out.
Yeah.
It can't happen.
There's a little thing in the back of my mind thinking,
talking about Newcastle.
Imagine Mick McCarthy, you can.
It can.
But I would like to see some changes. If you can't do it
when your 5 goes up, when are you going to be able to do it?
It should be. Similar to Mark, I don't think it's going to be a huge amount. I think we'll see a lot of players that we've seen play and continue to play.
Yeah.
Might start with Ramsdale and go maybe. I think we're a little bit limited.
I think Joe Linton will come in as well because obviously
Yeah.
he's coming back from injury. He needs the minutes.
Sandro might have a little
Maybe
bit of
give
a sit down.
Sandro a break.
Yeah.
But
'cause
Ramsey
he's
and
played a
Willock
lot
have been
of games.
rotating quite a bit
And
recently
they've
as
both
well.
been in decent little
Yeah.
form as well. But I saw Willock get some abuse on Saturday for the game at Man City there, but I don't really, again, because I watch it on the telephone, I didn't really kind of.
He was just a bit slow in possession.
Yeah.
Just losing the ball too easily at times. Just typical. I
And
think
that
you
could
saw
happen,
some of
that,
the decent stuff from Willock, but you saw some of the stuff
Yeah.
that we used to as well.
He's been fine. Willock's. I'm more than confident that Joe Willock could do a job against Karabakh tomorrow night. I think Wissai will see a little bit as I think Asula up front isn't that bad a shout. I can understand people giving their tickets back now. I think of that, to be honest with you.
I'd probably start Asula up front.
Yeah, I think
Barnes on the left because Barnes hasn't really started.
Asula,
Yeah.
Barnes, and Murphy up front.
Yeah.
Right,
That's
in
probably
that
the front three.
If they do a 3,
Mm.
obviously Waldemar has been kind of playing as a bit of a not a 10, but in a attacking midfield.
He's 100% just
he
been
was
playing
really
as a
deep, wasn't he?
midfielder.
He was really
He's
people
been
getting that
midfield,
first leg. He was
yeah.
cheaper than Tonali, and
Well, Eddie said it like he's not really been asked to do much more of a different role than what he's always been asked.
he's doing his Elvin.
Well, he's just doing it another 20 yards further
Exactly.
back.
Yeah.
I've quite enjoyed this little experiment with Waldemar because he's played
Yeah.
like 3 different positions in the last handful of weeks.
I do worry how long the experiment is going to go on for, though.
Probably until Bruno's back.
Well, we don't really. The games aren't letting up. That's the thing. Is we've got 2 games a week. If we get past Karabakh, it's the, you know,
Mhm.
if then we've got another 2 Champions League games. We've got another FA Cup game. It was meant to be that between Chelsea and I think Sunderland was going to be the first full week off. But I believe the next round of the Champions League sits in there somewhere.
Yeah, it
one of
does.
the 2
It's
legs.
the week of that. Yeah.
So that takes us past Easter now without a. So
crackers.
it's just all season's been the same. It's been no let up.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's what I was saying, like, around people feeling lethargic with going to the games.
Oh, yeah,
because it's literally, if it's not the Champions League, it was the League Cup, then the FA Cup was thrown
Yeah.
into the mix. It just,
I
it
felt-
seems like you're never away.
I felt like a right dick because I felt lethargic. I'm thinking people are trying the hardest to get tickets. I'm sitting here going, this season ticket's such a burden.
Well,
It's such a
but-
burden.
I know.
You,
There was a
you
comment.
say that though, and this is one of the things, because even the members and general public must be feeling exactly the same way, because there's umpteen tickets for sale now for tomorrow night.
Do you think it's a price as well, though?
But then, I mean, that will have
Partly, I think,
that
yeah.
will have an impact. 'cause
70
it
quid, I
is a
think the
lot
cheapest
of-
ticket is
lot of
maybe
money.
that's
It
available
will
right
be,
now.
Yeah. Well, level 7 will be slightly cheaper. won't it?
65.
So, but that's ultimately what we paid. You're paying for the competition, not the
Yeah.
the
not the
opposition,
point.
isn't it? But it does just, and then I mean that takes you on to the whole conversation, because the news has came out today around potential renovations to the stadium and new stadium. and
Well, I've got
stuff like
questions.
that, and
I have got
Look at that.
questions.
seamlessly linking in.
I just to go back to
good
the
stuff,
whole
this.
the whole ticket thing. What we're saying, there was a comment in from Stephen. I'll put it on screen. He says, "I got 2 tickets in the ballot for Everton for me and my 15-year-old. £75 for me, £35 for the Bairn in the West Stand. Don't take your tickets for granted, lads.
110 quid for 2 tickets, man.
We definitely don't. We don't take it
Oh,
for granted.
no.
Like we had a discussion last week because saying like we're in a nice little position here where we've had season tickets for a long time.
Really lucky.
Yeah.
Really lucky. Because I came so close to packing mine in.
Well, poor Decker.
really close to packing mine
Decker
in.
obviously
Yeah.
let go his go the season as we approach the takeover season as well. So
Coming out of COVID.
and it brings you back to the whole point of the ballot and stuff like that. The Sunderland ballot was sorry, not the ballot. The Sunderland general sale was today, wasn't it?
160.
Well, the ballot was the same.
Yeah,
Over 100,000 people in the queue for it. Now, I imagine a
well,
lot of
100,000
that's
devices.
Yeah.
duplicates and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. Yeah, but
But apparently, there's a big question mark over how the club have dealt with that as well. Because people saying normally, if you had this number going into the general sale, let's say 5,000 in the queue, you are almost guaranteed a ticket or 2. Whereas this time, those numbers just you
but
got in, there was nothing left.
what you've also got to remember, and there's no doubt that there is less tickets, but there physically is less tickets because of the segregation issues in level 7. The full balcony is empty. And then the dividing section between the corner of level 7 and the Leazers. That's blocked off as well. So
Yeah.
there is less tickets available than
possibly.
normal games, but that doesn't then equate to the ones that you normally have around the stadium. And like there's normally more in level 7 in the Milburn stand, for instance, that there isn't. So there is definitely something not quite right.
We'll go through some of the questions. We'll start with the Instagram ones. So if you haven't been doing this the last few weeks, on the day of each Monday, before we do the live show, I'll put a post on our Instagram account, which is Gallowgate_Shots, where you get your chance to send in your questions. We had loads this week, lads, to be fair. Loads. So I'm just going to pick some out random.
Full of drinking centre parks, just finding questions on.
he's not sent a single one, to be fair.
You got the wrong account up, Decker, how big are your tits? Sorry, lads.
So this one is from James that says, do you think Gordon as number 9 and Nick as number 10 will work at home, or is it just set up for away games?
That's what I was saying, that it's for me dependent on the opposition. So I think if even at home against a team that will come out and try and play against you and leave that space in behind, then absolutely we'll play like that to utilize the gaps in behind and hit them on counter attack. We played that like that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But against teams where they're sitting in deep, they've got a strong line. Gordon for me will not be the answer to that question, and we've seen that in the past with him, if that he cannot hold up balls, he cannot link it up. He doesn't make those runs. Not that the other ones do either, but making those runs in between defenders and stuff like that.
I wish that does a bit, but he's not quite been right since he's come back. Yeah, some of his movement was excellent early on.
Yeah, I think. But then I don't know whether, because then there's a part of us thinks that has he got sick of making those runs because the pass never comes, and now he's gone too far the other way and just being really, really static because he's expecting it into his feet every time.
I don't know. You think the best strikers, when you have before playing in the Premier League, obviously speaking from experience here, one of the things that you do is you make that run every time, not expecting to get the ball 95 times out of 100.
The perfect example.
Yeah.
Of that.
I did see a thing was Kev Lawson shared on Blue Sky. I don't know if it was on Twitter as well this last week, where Gordon's underlying numbers and others, all that, actually better than Isaac's when he's playing up front. Obviously, a smaller sample size, and he hasn't. The goals aren't there. Well, that's kind of they are in Europe, but every other metric, Gordon's outperformed what Isaac did last season.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I'm not saying that makes Gordon a better striker than Isaac, but it means that he's well to how we play with him to the middle. He's well suited, and he did well against Tottenham. Tottenham didn't exactly get about with, and I thought he did brilliantly for Jacob Ramsey's goal. The caveat of that would be that Tottenham were absolutely hopeless that day. So
diabolical,
shocking.
But that goal, he comes in from the left hand side, doesn't he? And
he kind of comes
box,
deep
so it's
again.
not like he's going through the
he's not
the middle. Is
not
he?
like,
As a striker,
it's not like a striker's movement. Or it's true to say.
What I'm finding quite entertaining in the comments now, and what I can see with people joining the live stream tonight, is that a lot of people must have realised we were going earlier tonight. And everybody just started to log on now. We've had about 50 people joining in the last 5 minutes where they probably thought,
just go back.
Just
go back and watch from the start. It'll be fine.
They're missing out.
But if you go on YouTube, if you subscribe, and if you click the little notification bell, you'll actually get notified when we go live with stuff. Or follow the Instagram like I was saying before, and it's always mentioned on there beforehand.
That's normally your job, that Mark. Tell them that.
I mean, it literally does tell you on YouTube what time we're going live.
Yeah,
next question. This one is from I am the Focus.
Oh, Mike Focus, yeah.
Mike. He says, which competition is our priority now, or is it still too early to say? Can we just address this Champions League structure has been fantastic for us this time around, like with the table, and obviously we've got Carabao.
I mean, it would have been better if we'd got a result against PSG and didn't have to have this extra game.
True, but you've potentially got Chelsea or Barcelona. If you get, I prefer Chelsea because it's over 2 legs. I'm looking at that thinking we could do it.
Okay.
Then you're a canny jump into the competition at that point.
Quarterfinals, last 8.
I mean, even when we played Barcelona, they weren't massively better. Than
We shocked them.
They
Yeah,
were really
so-
good in the middle of the park. Like,
But that's the only thing is the
Turned it
now
on
a
at some
little bit-
point. Yeah.
yeah.
They
And
know
Rashford
what
just
we're
kinda
capable of.
was-
Yeah,
that-
so
that
he's-
That
one goal.
worries me. Rashford, he always scores against it.
Yeah.
But again, with him, it's like we were talking about before with Christian Bassidas.
Yeah.
He's either brilliant or shite.
I've got a
There's
good-
no in between.
I've got a good story about that.
Piss off.
Yeah, it's a weird one because think about what you're going to prioritize because we're only one win away from the FA Cup quarterfinals. We've got to try and finish as high in the Premier League as we can to get Europe again. We're not. I don't think we're going to be anywhere close to top 5. But I looked at the league table earlier, and 6th, 7th, it's very doable. Like, and we haven't got too bad a run in. We've still got Arsenal away. We've still got Chelsea away as well. I think everything else is the teams in that group.
These next handful of games coming up in the Premier League are huge, though.
Last 3 games are West Ham, Forest, and Fulham as well. So they'll probably be fighting for their lives at that point. But there's one of them's going to go down by the looks of things, at least if the drags burst into it. So it's
Crackers down the bottom.
It's
It's
really-
really. I mean, the
the
whole
whole
table's
table,
crackers, isn't
everywhere
it?
is. There's only like Liverpool that you could see are kind of settled at the minute. I think around that way, or Villa maybe. Like we're still only 3 points. What a good little run of fixtures, a good run of results. If we can get past 2, we've got coming up. Obviously, Sunderland's coming up. Chelsea not too long. Everton, Man U, they're all. I mean, Man U are looking a bit better under Carrick, but if you get 9-10 points off those games, then you're sitting pretty, And I think
we're in the second half of the table, we're in the lower part of the table now. 11th, I think we went to
11th or 12th,
11th,
yeah,
I think, with Fulham's
because
result.
Fulham beat Sunderland, and
So either way, no matter what that result was, with us not picking up 3 points, one of them was going to go.
because they were the 2
jump
teams
with.
immediately beneath me. Yeah, I'm glad it was Fulham, I have to say. But yeah, I think the running that we've got, and it's not to say that's an easy running, but we are just starting to look that little bit better. We've got a bit more quality. Still
feels like we're turning
Came
a bit
into
of a corner.
a good bit of form. The positive thing for me is we're also doing it without Bruno, which was also that like monkey on your back of like never winning a game when he hasn't.
we're still in
He
the
hasn't
Premier League,
played
mind.
and stuff
Still the
like
Premier League, yeah.
that. I know, but it's that's just a minor detail when you look at the last 3 games, and
I think we can. I think we'll be all right. I think we'll probably be 7th, maybe 8th. I think it'll be good enough for Europe as well. But there again, that goes to the point. The FA Cup, we're only a couple of possible wins away. If you can get past Man City, we've beaten them at home this season once already.
And what we saw from the weekend gives us more hope going into that
it
game.
won't cause them problems.
there's a lot of good teams still in that
It's true.
that draw as well. That's the only thing. But you have to beat them at some stage.
And we
don't
did it
you?
last year.
We did it.
We did. But the Premier League, the Champions League, you get that much more money for going through the rounds.
Exactly.
I think all 3 competitions, you look at them, and I think that it's hard to say. Like Premier League's probably there, Champions League's there, FA Cup maybe is a little bit less so. But the FA Cup's also
But that's the one
that
that's most winnable, isn't it?
So
Yeah.
it's hard to say, I think.
It's mad, and it's the most winnable, but it's the one that makes you the least amount of money
Yeah.
out of the 3.
Well, I'm eyeing up that Champions League trophy right now.
Yeah, I mean, that next round whoever we end up getting out of Chelsea and Barcelona is going to be
It's getting towards
a
that
tough
point.
one,
It's
isn't it?
getting towards a point now where it's proper Champions League like royalty almost, isn't it? Where I'm sure I've seen that we had one of the hardest runs of 8 games in the Champions League as well. The kind of expected quality of the teams that you play out the average positions. I mean, obviously by the end of it, a couple of them didn't qualify. But I think we were something like the 3rd or 4th hardest when the fixtures came out.
And to be fair, we made it tough for ourselves as well.
Times we did really well at home for the most part. Like, it was only the
Like some Marseille away. It was the one we were through with.
Leverkusen that really late on. And the irony is that Leverkusen game as well, in particular, for about 20 minutes in the second half, we were absolutely brilliant. Obviously, Miley got his goal, and then it was a point in the season where we just conceded late goals all the time, and that happened there as well. Snoddy didn't track his man, but priority wise, I don't know. Like, the Premier League, bread and butter, isn't it? You finish high, that's what you've got to be. But there again, we're clearly not going to win the Premier League. So finish as high as you can, get into Europe again. And I would fancy our chances in Europe next season if we're in like the Conference League or the UEFA Cup. What's it called now? Europa League. I was looking at the thing. It was one of those opera things or something online a few days ago. And Palace are the favourites for the one that they're on, which I think is the Conference League.
Conference,
I would imagine.
Yeah, and it is.
And
Forest or Europa League, aren't they?
Are they favourites? Oh, well,
I don't think they're favourites.
because that was they had a swap, didn't they? Because of the multi-club ownership thing.
Yeah.
But look, I think if Palace are favourites, and Palace aren't a terrible side. They're not far beneath us in the league. But God, we have a good chance of winning that. You know.
Well, that's what they say. Any English club that qualifies for that are automatically going to be the favourites because of the coefficiency that we've got means that it's that far down the table, or in their case because of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And then when you start looking at the rest of the countries around Europe, they're not of a similar standard. So you're always going to be.
A lot of people
that
tend to turn the nose up at the Conference League, though.
I think that's ridiculous.
I think it's snobbiness.
mad.
Yeah.
What's
a prize money like in there?
It's
not
poor.
great.
It is poor, yeah.
It's not great, but what's the prize money for winning the League Cup?
True.
I would have rather
But
have won the League Cup and got bugger all for it.
Was it not West Ham? I know West Ham obviously went on to win it, but they not say they lost money
I
competing
think
in
they
it.
might have broke even. I
Because
don't think
obviously
they-
the
Well, that's
travelling and
because
stuff like
I
that.
mean you're literally going to be every game week traveling to Baku and beyond.
Wait.
There's a documentary on that.
Send Nickel.
I'll make it.
I will send Nickel again.
So that's the downside of it is the amount of travel that you've got to do because you're going to all of the far-flung places.
Tends to be Eastern Europe and
Yeah.
I
I mean, there's obviously still in some in mainland Europe and the more frequently visited countries, but yeah, the lower echelons of European football are tend to be knocking around in there. But they're exciting, fun places to go to, aren't they?
some of my favourite games is St James's over the years. I think back to like beating Halmstad 4-0,
Partizan Belgrade,
697,
like things like teams like
Ferencvaros.
CSK Sofia.
Yeah,
Like there's wonderful historical
I think-
European teams. in
I
there
think
that
it's
you can
it's
come
mad
against.
to turn your nose up at any European football, and I think we're just at the kind of start of the takeover. It's been 5 years or 4.5 years, but like we're not going to be in the Champions League every year. Villa are we're almost dovetailing with Villa. It's their turn this season. Hopefully, we'll bounce up and get our turn next season. I think we'll lose some players this summer because of it, mind. But like for the time being, to turn your nose up at the Conference League or the Europa League's mad. I think like it made me start watching the. It's always I thought been a bit of a shame to watch how it's been devalued anyway. The Europa League, because I mean Tottenham and Man U was a horrible final last year. Horrible.
rotten. It was
shite
rotten.
teams.
Shocking.
But when we're talking about like I mentioned Palace being favourites to win the Conference League, they were the teams that finished I think 16th and 17th in the Premier League last year, Man U and Spurs, and yet like Man U beat Bilbao over 2 legs in the semis to get there. I think Spurs had a more favourable run comparatively. But a chance to win the Europa League,
It's a trophy.
It's
a
still
trophy.
only one trophy in like 100 years, a million years that we've won or something like that. Like so, obviously, you kind of turn your nose about it.
I'm going to go back to a point that you just brought up, Bestie, and this is a question from Alfie. That says, what's more...
Is he not in bed? Oh, yeah, mate.
Yeah,
She's been on a drink all day. That's why.
So he says, what's more important this summer, retaining players or buying players?
Oh,
God. Hey, we're getting some tough ones tonight, aren't we?
We're in for a
Good
tough
stuff.
summer.
Yes. They're not missing on these
I think
questions.
if
I
we're-
true faith having a week off or something. We're getting the guns, yeah.
I
Why not
think
just have like, would you rather have a kebab or a pizza?
Oh, there's
Like,
one of them.
That's the better.
there is one of them.
yeah.
There's one of them. There's one of them. I think it's probably it is. It's obvious that we're going to lose a couple of players if we don't get Champions League football, which it's going to be a tough ask at this point now.
Is it obvious?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
I think even if
I've
we get
got-
Champions League football,
I've got
I think
3
we'll lose
players
players.
in my mind straight away that I think we'll lose.
Tonali,
Mhm,
Tino,
mhm.
Trippier.
Possibly Hall. I'm worried about Hall.
Lewis Hall's
I
can't
don't
be
think
where.
Holt goes.
Why? Why not? We said this about Isaac at the end of last season.
His dad won't let him.
That was a nice little bit of content, that wasn't it? Yeah. But I don't. That's what worries me.
I don't think you can lose Tino and Hall in the same summer,
Yeah,
especially with Trippier going to your can.
I get you Tino one.
The injuries could count against Tino, you know.
true.
Yeah,
True.
he hasn't played a great deal of.
I mean, when we
of
signed
football
him-
this season,
He'd missed the whole season with a broken leg, so he's really the past 4 seasons he's only played 2.5.
Woody's thrown Gordon into the mix as well.
Possibly, the better he plays between now and the end of the season. I think Gordon's great, mate. I'd be really sad to see him go.
I agree. Yeah.
I think that the abuse he's been getting is absolutely insane. To be honest with you, like, That's the thing.
We're losing 3 of your stars. Let's just say it.
Yeah, three
Worst
first
case
team
scenario, 3 of your stars.
And
is
these are lads
horrible.
that are kind of coming towards I know Tino's a bit younger, but they're coming towards their mid-late 20s. I think Gordon's 24, Sandro's 25 maybe. And they're getting towards a point now with less than 10 years of their careers left. Both, I would say, capable of winning loads of stuff. And that's one of the problems that we found, I think, with the PSR stuff and all that. I mentioned that for a little while. Is that it has kind of, I think it's hamstrung. The PIF weren't expecting to find it so hard to progress. I don't think they've done everything perfectly, but I think it has made things harder for them. And I think it's not quite what players were sold, especially the first batch of players that came in. I mean, there'll been survival for, like Trippier, Dan Burn, but then Bruno. I think Bruno's only maybe had 2 years.
Yeah.
But he's ended up becoming like Mr. Newcastle and all that. Excuse me. Yeah, I think we will. Gordon's a possibility as well. It might be 3. But then I think the noises seem to be that this summer's going to be I said this last year as well, mind, that there's talk of this summer being quite a transformative.
And I think we've sat here and said likes of a big tournament summer can always disrupt things when you're trying to buy players.
Yeah.
We're going to have a fair few. So your Hall's going to be there. Tino, maybe, depending on injuries.
Probably. I don't think he will.
Gordon's going to be there.
Gordon will be. Hall will be.
So that's putting a spotlight on them.
Chow will be. Voltamada will be.
But if you're just talking about the English lads, that could put a spotlight on them. If they have a great tournament, then if somebody does come in for them, then they're going to have to pay mega bucks for
Lewis Hall
anyway.
is the one that.
Do you think he'll stop?
Will 100%.
Lewis Hall.
There's not a better left back in the country than him.
Right. I love Lewis Hall.
Tuchel likes him as well.
Yeah.
And Tuchel knows him from his Chelsea days as well. So maybe. I love Lewis Hall. He's such a good player. He's
fantastic,
great on the ball. He's so good to watch, man.
I loved his celebration that he did against Manchester City. I loved the whole celebration on his knees, but it just doesn't suit him as a character, does it? It's like an arrogant sort of thing, and just doesn't suit him.
I love him. But my hope is if they are selling players and players do end up going, and it is 3 first teamers that are all valued at. I mean, I know we were paid for like Wissa and Langar summer maybe, but they're all going to be 60, 70 million plus at least if they go. I just hope that it's done properly and it's not what happened last summer.
Yeah, that's the only thing is that even if we do lose players, I think we'll have learned something in the summer, but we'll also be on the front foot because we are looking to strengthen the team and want to do so.
But what like Bessie said, Mark, we heard this last summer as well.
And last summer we'd won a cup and qualified for the Champions League.
We wanted business done early.
We were in a stronger position last summer than we are now.
We did try to do that.
We did. That was the problem. That's my kind of anxiety about the summer, maybe if that's the right word to say, is that our list of targets isn't just our list of targets.
Exactly.
Every player will have 100%. That we're looking at. I don't know. I've not got a clue who it is, but every player we're looking at will have suitors. Be someone else going.
Well, every time we link with a player, it's Newcastle are interested, but so is X, Y, and Z.
Well, I was watching. I forget what it was. I was watching. I listened to last week. Now it was someone that it might not even be us. We're looking at him, and as soon as it had a meeting with the player, the agent rang Chelsea. And it's not. And we've always said Chelsea copy or homework. Villa do. It's agents trying to get the best price, trying to get the So there's that as well. I've got no doubt that would have happened at least once or twice last summer when he looked at Mbumo, João Pedro. A lot of players who've gone on. Cesco's starting to score goals as well now. I mean, it's quite obvious actually when you look back at what the noises were getting made last summer, and people knew that we'd put one bids in, but they're going, hang on a second, we'll just wait and see. So we need to be looking at players. It's almost, I think we said this the other week as well, looking at the Brighton or the Brentford kind of way of doing it. We are getting players who represent more of a risk because they're not at the level of like João Pedro, who everyone knew he was going to score goals. Of those players, we've got to kind of keep doing what we're doing. Buying likes of Bruno, Tonali was a bit of a risk, and a risk that blew up my faces to start with because of the suspension that he had. Isak was a risk, you know. We've got more of those right than we've got wrong.
Yeah. But we only got those players because nobody else would take that risk or weren't willing to pay.
I think you could even throw the 2 fullbacks in as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
Tino had just
certainly.
picked up a bad injury.
He missed the whole
Well, he's
season.
gone to
Yeah.
Southampton, didn't he? Yeah.
Hall, we paid a lot of money for Hall. It's
Yeah.
came to like it's worked well now, of course
Yeah.
it has. But we paid big money for Hall.
Yeah, we did. Forget he was loan to start with as well. It didn't look the first 9 months or so. I thought
I'm sure he got
Hall
hooked
looks-
like in the first half a couple of games.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I
he
thought
did.
he looked terrible.
Yeah.
But then he's become one of our most, probably has been our most consistent player this season. when he's been fit.
This summer as
Told
well.
you so.
You did, Mark. You did.
This summer as well, we should hopefully still have a director of football.
Well,
That's a
Worried
thing.
if he
let's
goes.
hope. 'Cause that's the other thing is you want that we need that stability off the pitch as well, and in the boardroom, and to be able to put things on and start off on the right foot. But to the point that you made of that, with it being a major tournament, that disrupts business that you wanted to do. It'll disrupt the business that anybody else is wanting to do. So even if anybody does want to buy our players, then they're going to struggle to get them from us because they're going to be away as well. So you'd ideally, like you say, want to get things done nice and early, but players will probably want to wait. Clubs will want to wait until the World Cup's out of the way to see, how has the player done? Has that increased their value? Who are because there's always some, isn't there? Who's the shock player in the that's really lit up that then gets linked with X, Y, and Z?
Less so these days. Back when we were kids, Mark, you got it more with a standout Scalacci, like 1990, Roger Miller from that year as well, who was like 100-year-old at the time. Later on, I mean, I was 12 in 94 and I didn't really know much about the Bulgarian, who's a Stoichkov, the Romanian lad, Hadji as well.
Yeah.
These were Gianfranco Zola had a really good World Cup that year as well.
That's a difference now with
But
obviously televised sport and
everything's
stuff like
different
that.
now.
You see it all the time. Champions League is the case in point of it, isn't it?
And even like you know about these players, you watch the World Cup and you kind of, for the most part, you've seen these players play 100 times before. Like, so that's kind of gone, which is a bit sad because it used to be one of my favorite things about watching the World Cup. Asamoah Gyan was a big one in 2010. Obviously, before he went to Sunderland and stuff, he was like, who's this bloke? He was playing in Germany at the time, maybe. It doesn't happen too much these days because everyone knows everything about football now because of dickheads like us talking about it all the
time. Just to quickly go through another couple that we've had on Instagram. I'm going to change this question slightly, but Dan Mason has sent in, if we were to go and get a new striker in the summer, who realistically would you go for? I'm going to change that around. I'm going to throw a name towards you that's been mentioned over the last few days.
Oh, I might have missed this one.
I don't know.
He's currently playing in Saudi Arabia.
John Duran? No, he's a Turkey now, isn't he?
Ex-Liverpool.
Oh, Darwin Núñez. Yeah.
His name's been thrown around. Do you know what it is? I'm all for it because he's an absolute shithouse. Just go for it.
He won't come back because he'll have to pay all of his tax and everything like that. Yeah, he has to be away for 2 years.
I just want move Asula on, bring Núñez in.
Oh, steady on.
And they're both just absolute maniacs.
I think it was a Núñez. He always scores us in James's Park as well. Like, so that's a.
It's
like when we got Michael Owen,
but very much like Christian Mercedes. He was either brilliant or shit.
He'd be like Wijnaldum, he just scores at home.
I honestly think I might be completely wrong, but I think there's a player in there and if anyone's going to find it, then
it takes a lot of.
It took him 27. Like he was worse than Andy Cole. Like when he first came with him, needing 13 opportunities to actually score one.
I'm all for it, man. Like. You never know.
The thing is, I'm loath to say yes. I don't know enough about football really, or like football, like who's playing where to go. Like, we need to get him. I don't know. I just hope we get someone good. I don't know who it is.
Well, every comment since I mentioned Núñez's name, everybody said no in the chat.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by that one. Like,
it's a bit.
Do you think he's better than Asula?
Yep.
Aye, but he's also, had a much higher level of career than Asula has.
Is that not because he's a better footballer?
How old is he?
Well, I can find out for you.
Late 20s?
I don't even think he's. I think
he's younger than Wissa. I mean, he's not like.
No, I think he's I
thought he's a spring
mid-20s.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
But what about?
He's an old.
If I talk about strikers,
he's 26-year-old.
26.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe 25.
Talking about strikers that have played in the Premier League and now play in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, here we go again. Every year.
And I don't even like the bloke. I think he's shite. Mitrovic.
Oh, that's not who I thought you were going to say. I thought you were on about Tony.
Ivan Tony. Oh yeah, I've got about Tony as well. I wouldn't.
Mitrovic.
Hasn't Duran gone to
He's in like,
Russia or somewhere now?
Is he not like? I thought it was Fenerbahce or something like that.
No,
He's
I
played-
think he went from Saudi to Fenerbahce and he's now playing for like St. Petersburg or
Yes,
something
he
like
is.
that.
John Durant is at Zenit.
There you are.
St. Petersburg. Shout that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
Well done,
Look
man.
at me, international football
Only
correspondent.
22-year-old, you know.
He's a bear now. He was like
22-year-old.
a teenager at Villa, or 20 when he was kind of
He was a good,
Great.
but I think the issue is the reason that he's been shipped around all of these teams is he's off the field antics.
I think he's mad. Like on the field antics at times as well. A couple of choice decisions he's made on the pitch. Like, but I don't know. Darwin Núñez. I can't think of anyone. I can't think of any other footballers at all at the minute. So for some reason,
Just him and Mitrovic.
it's just Darwin
John
Núñez,
Durant.
Mitrovic, and Ruben Neves.
Oh, you would love that actually,
Not
wouldn't you?
now. It's not going to happen now. Ruben Neves.
There's still time for what's his face that they used to want every single week as
Mikel
well.
Antonio.
Aye.
Bring Callum home as well while we're at it.
Is he not retired now though, Antonio?
I think
He had that back
after the
crash,
car
yeah,
accident.
he
Car
went
crash,
back
yeah,
to that, maybe,
he was
yeah.
on. I think he took a punditry.
So we're going to end the Instagram one on this one. This is from Doug. That says, "What are your thoughts on the latest stadium update / non-update from Luke Edwards today?" It didn't really give much that more than had already been rumored. I think it was more hinting towards the fact that there's definitely going to be a new stadium.
Yeah, I think it's a bit harsh to call it a non-update. Like I think it's nothing. Some aspects, I suppose, it is a little bit.
What I'm referring to is that we always knew that was going to be Leazer's Park. Then we knew that site on St James's Park was then going to get basically green area.
It's the rest of it that I think gives it a lot more credence.
The
The
citywide.
regeneration in the city. Obviously the Rubens are heavily involved. They own most of Gosforth and stuff, don't they? So certainly the race course and that.
But they're also redeveloping all of the bottom of Gallowgate, the old BT, Milligans, the Bakers.
Oh yes,
Labour
I
Club.
don't know. And
All of that.
the new on Pilgrim Street. The
Well, all
Yeah,
stack
yeah,
used to
they
be.
all the
HMRC.
Yep.
Is it HMRC
Where the
building?
stack used to be, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the one
Yeah.
I the cinema, the Odeon,
Yeah.
and
They own the new stack as well, all of them buildings.
yeah.
So
So
the new big one opposite 55 degrees
the one
north.
that's kind of indoors, but not.
No,
Aye,
the
but then
other
the-
office
the
park
big-
further down.
Tower
Yeah.
next door to that as well.
There's another huge one just further down, around the roundabout, isn't it?
The newest one.
Opposite, what's that
Purple Peacock and
bar called on the left? A little
50
tiny little bar.
tiny bar on the left.
Stag's Head.
It's got like an Italian name. It's called
Oh, Alvino's.
Alvino's.
Oh yeah, Albino's kind
Yeah,
of
it's right opposite
yeah.
there.
Aye. But yeah, all of that stuff to me makes it feel as if it's something more concrete, and it's not just kind of I think I'm going to release this part.
I thought it would be made of concrete,
I'd expect so.
glass, steel.
I think let's have a bit of a debate about new stadium versus expanding St James's Park. I know we've done this a fair few times, and I think we've always not necessarily been on the fence, but understood the argument from both sides. I think we've all said yes, we would love to see at St James's Park, but for the future of the football club and going in and hopefully challenging for a title at some point, you're probably going to have to get a new stadium to bring more money in, so you've got more spending ability.
Yeah, and I mean Hodgkinson's saying that it's he wants it to be there or thereabouts by 2030, I believe, which is insanely ambitious, to be honest with you. I have long been on the kind of State St James's Park side of things, and then I'll go to the match and I'll complain about how much of a pinch it is getting in, the way that wall in the
Well, I mean,
well,
you can do something about
they
that.
they've definitely they have made the turnstiles tighter. I've found over the past 5 years or so. But like
You've got to go through the doors now, don't you? do.
No, just
Oh, there's Stephen again.
But there's a wall because where I go in and there's a kind of it's off the Cobble Street bit and there's a wall that comes up and it's not wide enough for like
Yeah, belly.
the people that go that way and that way. Sorry, Mark.
It's horrendous, that wall. It's horrendous.
It's really bad. And like
It comes right past where you probably go in as well.
Oh
I'd say,
yeah. That's my turnstiles are the ones right next to it. And you go in and then you've got to like fight past people to go and get a beer. If you can get a beer, the beer's shite. You can't get into the toilet unless you've got like half an hour before the game to go in there and kind of just queue up. And
They've just renewed the contract with Colin as well, haven't they?
yeah.
It's even worse if you're a girl as well, because only one toilet.
Well, right enough, there shouldn't be them to start with, Mark. That's not true. I don't mean that at all, obviously.
He said that.
No,
He said that.
and I really regret it 'cause I don't mean it at all. There's so many little frustrations with St James's Park because it's not, the area isn't meant to sustain 55,000 whatever it is people. Going there in there, everyone tends to go the same way back in the city. There's not that many. There's a percentage, I would say, go Barrack Road or west towards like
everybody
Westgate,
floods downhill.
It all kind of.
Well, that's
back
where the
down
new
towards Percy Street and
development
stuff.
will help because
Yeah.
there's a new walkway that's going to go in between the back of Gallowgate and
How
the
do you
coming
know
out onto
this?
that corner.
Secret meetings?
That's not being released, Mark. This is
It's definitely been
no,
released. This
Have you
is
just broke your
this
NDA?
is public announcement.
Yeah,
This
he
is
has.
public.
Are you wearing a wire?
This is public. This is public news.
That's
It definitely
that NDAs. You're gonna have to
That's
pay
worse
out
than
there, mate.
That's worse than my misogyny 2 minutes ago.
Oh,
That
yeah.
really dropped myself and shit.
Aye.
I am, and like I say, I'm St James's Park. The kind of sentimental side of it as well, like, you know, kind of me dad took us when I was a kid, my granddad went. One of my big things is taking my two kids and my dad all go at the same time because it'd be nice to kind of all be there and get a photos of the kids
In a
at St. James's
competitive
and all
game.
that. Like,
Yeah.
but even pre-season, I'll take them the pre-season one this year and stuff. But
Just wait for the Cellar Cup in the summer.
that's what I've got my eye on. But by the same token, all of those little frustrations are valid criticisms of the way it is at the minute. It looks so tired. It looks dated. You can't. I've only been to Tottenham's ground a couple of times with American football, but it's night and day.
Oh God,
The
good job,
concourses and
Declan. Yeah,
stuff
you'd be
like
fucking
that.
speaking about the next half hour about that Spurs ground.
Yeah, that's why it's got to do us now. And Munich's. I went to Munich's a few years ago for a game. Wembley's a bit older and all now, but I'm Munich's as well. But that's so more suited to the kind of.
It's because purpose built, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing.
The thing.
And St James's Park is kind of it's like nearly all stadiums that are of that age or of equivalent age. They've kind of been built as the need to be built, so that kind of the bits stuck on bits.
Oh, yeah.
Like the old Gallowgate Terrace or the old hill to the Gallowgate still
Yeah,
exists,
still
it's
there.
under the club
Yeah,
shop.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of, and I quite like that. I think that's quite a nice little thing. Even though no one ever sees it and stuff. But as much as I'd love St James's Park, and when I was doing the film with our Taylor years ago, talking to Peter Beardsley in the ground, we interviewed Peter Beardsley, he was the first one we did, and he took me down to the pitch side and he's telling me about the goal Darren Peacock scored against Man U.
Yeah, at a
said,
certain point.
He's headed it, he's been down there and headed it. He says there's one I chipped Joe Corrigan in 90, my dad's favourite ever Newcastle goal. He chipped Joe Corrigan and he slides on the edge of the box, retains it and chips over the keeper.
Oh, unbelievable.
Against Cardiff, I think it was last game. He said, I did that, they had it, and it's like, listen to a former player, he was employed by the club at the time, obviously.
Chris Wallace scored.
Oh, yes.
But having that was really, really special. And it would be a shame to lose that because that won't exist anymore. You know, in 20 odd years' time, if we get a new ground, which I think we will, you wouldn't get like, I don't know, an equivalent Dan Burn saying that's where I scored against PSG.
But you will though, won't you? Because you'll get the new memories of the players that'll come in and do that. And that's the thing, is that it is, for me, it's heart over head, like that kind of decision. But when you think of all of those moments that you're talking about, all of those moments are going to be experienced by more people in doing that, of being able to take the kids to the new stadium, start all of that thing over, have those amazing moments.
But you'll probably only get that, Mark.
It'll take time to get that once
generations.
If they don't sell more season tickets.
Well, that's a problem.
Because
that is a worry.
If you build a bigger stadium, which probably means you're probably going to sell more season tickets and put them on sale.
I don't think they would.
No,
I think if anything, they'll try and sell
they make
fewer.
more money, don't they? They make more
And
money.
I think they'll sell fewer season
general
tickets.
sale. Yeah.
If it would get away without a single season ticket, I think we'd rather do that. Because that's where the money is.
Well, they're going to have to retain the season tickets that are already there, but
there'll be natural wastage was season tickets as a die off and stuff like that, you know.
It's small, because then even in those instances, if somebody is deceased, it passes on to a family member should they want to, rather than go back out to public or general sale, whatever it'll be. But my worry is, I think that's what you are alluding to, Chris, is that for whatever we go, and that's why I think the figures that are being talked about are a worry. Tomorrow might dispute that fact, but
68,000.
if you're talking 66,000, it's only 14,000 more than we're getting now. You can guarantee 10,000, 12,000 of that are going to go straight into corporate.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite as many as 10 or 12,000, but it will be the third largest ground in the country after Wembley and Old Trafford.
Yeah.
So it's 68,000, even though we're sitting, you can think, well, it's not 14,000 is not that much more. 14,000 is a lot more. Like, if you 14,000 extra tickets
It is
available
if
every
it goes
game.
to individual fans. But
There's
I'm
going to be
not-
some, and I would rather all 14,000, should that be the figure that they settle on. Obviously, you'd rather that, but that's not going to be the case because that's the nature of the beast now.
Yeah, because obviously the bigger away attendance as well.
Yeah.
Allocation for them.
But aren't they struggling to shift?
10%, won't it?
Yeah.
Aren't they struggling to shift some of the corporate tickets anyway these days? Am I right in thinking?
I
that?
think there's the tickets that were available that went on sale that for obviously the Mackham game only went on sale today. I think the only tickets left were corporate, and there's still some left, but you're looking at like 700 quid.
But even with that in this shows you what they're having to do is because they don't have it. They don't have the ability to have that corporate offering within the stadium at the minute. So they're having to take them to 5 or 6 places around town.
Yeah.
Give them the corporate hospitality there, then take them and sit them in the ground in an area. Whereas in a new stadium, they would have the suites all set up and stuff like that. Have the, which is great because then from an employment point of view, you're going to need all your waiters, waitresses, bar staff, servant staff, security guard, all of that kind of thing. So you're getting more employment. Obviously, it's generating more revenue and stuff like that, which is really, really important for us. But as to getting your general day-to-day match going fan, I'm not sure it's ticking them boxes.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see much change as a fan perspective.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's a big shame because I think that is
that's what everybody
what
wants.
everybody wants and
Yeah.
hopes is that there's more opportunity for me to be able to go and watch the game. And I don't think that will be the case,
But
unfortunately.
I don't know if I still don't know. We're talking about people not wanting to go tomorrow night for Twitch.
And that's what I'm saying. That
to a Champions
does-
League game.
Yeah.
And it's expensive. I agree.
But if we were playing Barcelona tomorrow night,
yeah,
it would be sold out.
but we've already got to the point in the Champions League where we're going, that's only Carabao. Like, the Champions League, and
It's madness.
We
isn't
were
it?
correct though.
but that's why they're saying. I think was it Hopkins who said it? It might have been Niels even a while ago, saying like we don't want to build an 80,000 seat stadium and have empty seats every game.
Yeah.
You'd rather it was a hot ticket, and you've got to, and it's people who want to go to the game who are really like, and I see the argument, but I do think.
But then if I had this game tomorrow night, if they just once we knew who the opposition was, go, well, that's maybe not a category A kind of game because that's what the pricing
the Premier
had.
League, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, well, do we say
Make it 40
even
quid.
if they said like it was 40 quid?
Yeah.
You know, it's still more than a normal Premier League. Sorry, it's still in the same level as a normal Premier League ticket would cost. People would probably pay that, whereas they don't want to
I
pay
think it'd be more
70
likely.
quid.
Yeah,
Just to
That's
wrap
true to
things
say.
up, I think I wouldn't have to build a new stadium with the potential to build
expand.
more or sink the pitch and build down over.
I think they'd be mad not to.
Yeah, because
I think
you don't know what the
you've
future
got
is.
to.
Yeah, you have to.
You've got to. If the interest stays as it is, and if we start winning more stuff, it's only going to increase. If we do win a Premier League in the next 10 years or whatever, 15 years maybe, that's only going to increase from a corporate outlook as well. You know,
Yeah.
I feel dirty saying it, like, but yeah, the thing with the stadium is, as much as it would be great to have just kind of click your fingers and have those seats somehow at the back of Gallowgate, back of the East Stand, whatever. Obviously impossible because of the buildings behind. It's everything else to do with the stadium.
Yeah.
And it's that the custom built thing. Like I mentioned, Tottenham, Munich, and Wembley earlier. They are built to be multi.
Yeah,
Like
it's not just a football.
venue.
venue.
The ambition that the club apparently has, and the stuff that they've been saying they want to do with the stadium, and how it's going to make up the lost ground in revenue on the likes of Spurs, Chelsea, Man City, Man U, whatever, Arsenal. You can only do that with a new stadium. And I really, it's a truth that I don't like at all, but I think that's the truth.
I'm going to end it there because I want to go home. If I'm being honest.
You'll be seeing the same this time tomorrow.
Thanks everybody who has watched live on this one. To be fair, we've gone over an hour as well. It's like all time.
Have we?
Yeah, hour and 10 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, look at us.
But yeah, thanks everybody. Just like the video, it means a lot to us. Become a subscriber. If you do want to give an extra bit back, it is just $2.99 a month to become a member. Go and watch Nichols' away day vlog in Baku, because
I really watch that.
Amazing.
I've not seen that yet.
It is amazing. The thumbnail speaks volumes, so go and watch that.
Is it free yet? I can't watch it.
It's not free yet,
It's
but
free.
it's,
Tell you what it is. Ryan Taylor one. Can you watch that yet?
the Ryan Taylor one is still available.
Is that still available? Is that
Of
not
course
like
it is.
the
course.
time
It's
machine?
been out of date now, like.
Is it not turned to dust?
But yeah, thanks everybody. If you're listening to the audio, just give us a 5-star review on there as well. We'll see you next time. The preview show went live earlier today, about 5:30, I think it was, but that's available to everybody as well at the moment. So yeah, go and check out that. Is Joe and Nickel that do that as well. So yeah, we'll see you next time. What you doing? Ta-ra.